While Fuller House may be a family show, the Fullest House podcast is not. Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to the Fullest House podcast, where our bodies are a-changin'. I'm Zach Horowitz.
I'm Mark Greene.
And I'm Harrison Bloom.
And boy, do we have an episode for you guys.
It was in fact an episode.
Like many an episode of Fuller House, it ended and I went, wow, nothing happened. And then, but also everything happened.
Oh yeah.
This was it's a crazy episode, and yet at the end I was like, nothing really happened today, did it? I feel like this one's going to be hard to talk about.
It's okay.
But no, just revisiting it, there is so much in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like most episodes of Fuller House, there's simultaneously so much to talk about and also nothing to talk about.
That's the weird thing about this show. It's a bizarro show from a fake world where things are backwards.
Mm-hmm. But there is one thing to talk about, and it is Derek. There's a lot of Derek in this episode of Derek.
To be fair, there's only one Derek, but he is the true Derek.
He is the true
The
Derek.
true Derek, yeah. Listen, if I want to ask a question to our viewers, specifically our viewers named Derek. How does it feel now to know that you are no longer the one true Derek? There is a one true Derek, and it is not you. But we'll get to that later.
We'll explain what we're talking about with Derek. We might be fixating on it.
Yeah. So why don't we just start from the beginning of the episode and work our way over to Derek?
Well, at the beginning we have, other than Derek, another fantastic guest, our good friend, Bobby Popko.
Bobby Popko, he's back.
Robert
Our
Popko.
good friend, fedora wearing, hickey dealing, Robert Popko.
That's right.
He was kind of great this episode.
Oh yeah.
This is maybe the best Popko has ever been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, he did in fact tip a fedora to his lady, which, wow.
That's what we've been building to.
Yep.
He comes right out. He has already given Ramona a hickey. The audience has a strong reaction. I made a specific note because,
Ooh.
I mean, here's the normal thing. We get the normal, like, crowd goes, ooh. But I remember distinctly at the end of that hearing, like, one voice specifically go, like, ooh.
Ooh. Like someone saw that and was just like, damn! This episode's getting
like
crazy!
that one dude was just physically in pain.
Yeah.
Just remembering every time.
I don't want to imagine that. I don't want to imagine Robert Popko and Ramona in a hickey giving situation.
Yeah, I'd rather not do that. But this show is very weird and it makes us do strange things.
Yes.
Fuller House makes us confront harsh realities.
Harsh realities. The harsh realities of Popko giving hickeys, and the harsh realities of parents, and really just anyone
puberty.
else realizing that you have a hickey.
And also systemic racism.
Yes.
Think
Yes.
about it. Fernando wants to get into the house. DJ's keeping him out.
It's immigration. Oh shit,
my
mind
God.
This is our
blown.
very special episode about immigration. Oh no!
Oh man. Yeah, no, there's the episode later in the season where Mr. Woodchuck gets pulled over for no reason and the cop's like really angry at Mr. Woodchuck because he's a woodchuck. People never talk about
There's
it.
also the whole episode that's about Israel and Palestine.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Like it's subtle. It's very
Yeah.
subtle, but it is about Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about those episodes when we get there.
Yeah, those very real episodes.
Those very real, totally accurate episodes of Fuller House. Honestly, like the way this show is, I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
I
Guys,
mean,
can I just stop us for a second and say, I think we're doing well. I think this is going great.
This is
Oh yeah, well
awesome.
yeah, good episode. Yeah, so Ramona's got this hickey from Bobby Popko, and she's like, "What am I gonna do now? If my mom sees that I've got a hickey, she's gonna be mad at me."
Which, can I just ask you, if you were in her situation, what would we do? This is just to contrast the absolutely crazy scheme she comes up with.
I would put like a bandage.
You're talking about the short-term fix?
I'm talking about the short-term fix.
Yeah, I don't think that's too crazy. It's like you're trying to think of something in the last minute.
Yeah, no. So
like,
I'm asking you. If you have long hair, okay. I was gonna ask what your preferred methods would be, but yeah, to explain, she ties her
I
hair
don't have long hair, so.
around her chin. I'm saying if you were in her circumstances.
Okay. Well, if I was in her circumstances, like as me or as Ramona, because I do not have hair that's long enough to make a beard out of. Although, if it was me, I'd just grow a beard on the spot.
If you were Ramona, what would you do?
Honestly, probably something similar to what she actually did.
Honestly, yeah.
It's like a good short-term fix to just like use the hair to cover it up.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's why I don't think it's a good short-term fix. Because if we haven't explicitly said it, because this episode is kind of making us crazy. Ramona ties her hair together at the ends around her chin, fashioning a sort of hair beard. I guess all beards are made of hair,
like
but I mean
it's
one
like
literally.
It's a chin tail. It's a ponytail.
It's a
around
chin
her
tail.
chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't think that's a good short-term fix. Because anyone except for Kimmy Gibbler who walks into that room would say, "Hey Ramona, what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Like just if Kimmy's entering the room, here's what I might do. Say, "Oh, sorry, Mom, I have to go to the bathroom," and then leave.
That's a thing you can do.
Yeah.
It works. Her strategy works. It only works because it's Kimmy Gibbler. And Kimmy Gibbler has issues.
Yeah, Kimmy Gibbler is going through a lot this episode.
I don't mean to fault our good girl Ramona. I don't mean to say that she had limited time, she had limited resources, but also I'm kind of proven right because Kimmy comes in, takes a long time tying her hair up the exact same way.
Oh yeah, like
Well,
too
that's
much
because
time.
Ramona tells her like, "Oh, it's the new like hair fad, the hair beard."
Which Kimmy believes.
Kimmy's like, it's a new fad. I'm gonna be one of the cool kids." So she does it herself.
Yeah, and Popko says Ramona looks hot with a beard,
Yes.
I mean,
revealing some
Damn,
very
right?
specific fetishes.
yeah.
He also says that Kimmy also looks hot with a beard,
Yep.
and I think he says something along the lines of like, I can't tell who's hotter," which like a weird thing to say to your girlfriend and her mom.
Yeah.
Weird thing to say to your girlfriend and your mom. And does Popko just have a thing for beards?
I mean, there's someone for everyone. If that's his kink, I won't shame.
Yeah. No, it's.
I think this is just Popko's way of like letting out his repressed bisexuality.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He hasn't confronted it yet. He hasn't come out, and we shouldn't be outing him.
That's right. That would be mean to do that.
And it's only a theory. We're only speaking in we can't say for sure.
That's just a theory. A Fuller House theory.
House theory. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that's it for the podcast. We done, guys? We done?
I'm sorry, like
We done? No more episodes, by the way, as well.
It was over. That killed it. I'm sorry. If I had known that Matt
That's like one of the only impressions I can do, but even then it's specifically Matt Pat ending a game theory episode.
Well, it's speaking with a lot of energy and confidence.
Yeah. And ruining it.
That's just a theory.
A game theory.
We have to move on.
Now let's move on to another storyline.
I was just gonna say my Fuller House theory that this would only work on Kimmy Gibbler is kind of proven right because Steph walks in.
Oh yeah.
Kimmy leaves. Steph walks in and immediately says, "Oh, hi, Hickey."
Yep.
Clocks it immediately.
Because, Steph's the cool aunt.
And the self-proclaimed queen of hiding hickeys.
Yeah. So I just need to ask, how many times has she done the chin tail to Danny Tanner? Has Danny Tanny been fooled by the chin tail more than once?
I mean, Danny Tanner is the kind of guy who gets upset about the couch until he gets a jacket made out of... I just need to bring up the jacket made out of couch again, because that episode lives in my head rent-free.
Yeah, you know what? Never forget. Never forget.
Never forget the time that Danny Tanner got mad that they replaced the couch. So they got the old couch and made him a jacket out of couch.
I love
That's good sitting.
I love the implication that yes, this ploy works on Kimmy, but also if our good dad Danny Tanny showed up and Ramona had the chin tail, he would also be like, "Oh, I haven't seen that fashion since the 90s."
Oh yeah. Oh,
When my
you're
teenage
right.
daughter was entering the dating scene.
Oh God.
And then Stephanie leaves for the bathroom.
Well, Ramona asks Steph to keep it a secret, even though Steph thinks she should tell Kimmy.
Yep. And also, let's acknowledge Stephanie's greatest invention, the neckini.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real shame that never caught on.
She describes a one of her Hickey hiding methods, which is a turtleneck bikini. Anyway, we then move on to the next scene where we meet J Money's bad friends.
Oh,
Yes.
I missed them so much and didn't realize. But only when Rocky is around to comment on their bullshit.
Right, his bad friends and Rocky.
Yeah.
His bad friends and also Rocky, who exist to pretty much just say anything the audience is thinking.
Yep.
Which is why we love Rocky. But look, let's just go through his friends one by one. First of all, we got this kid who has seen every movie ever made. He's just Abed from Community, but worse.
Oh, he's
Worse
so bad.
Abed.
Yeah,
He's just bad Abed.
He's the worst kind of nerd, like from Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, you mean the book by Ernest Cline? Yeah. I've read it. That's my impression of Wade from Ready Player One.
Oh my god.
You think I skipped out on Ready Player One? I read that book and its sequel and saw the movie. And let's not forget about the card game based on the book that may exist.
Ready Player One, I know every word.
I know every word of Ready Player One. No, I have not felt the touch of a woman in several years.
Oh no. I like this episode has brought me from oh no to oh no. We have run the gambit.
It's all about the intonation of the oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
J Money introduces him to DJ. He says, "You had me at hello, Jerry Maguire." Because it's very good.
Just
Very
hello, yeah, every word in the human language, in the English language, Jesus Christ, in the English language, has been in a movie. So we have to reference the movie that it appeared in.
I just want to see like a scene where they're all hanging out and then all of a sudden Bad Abed's just like, according to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly.
But there's perhaps the most frustrating, baffling, and significant of J Money's bad friends, Mankowski.
Oh boy.
Whose defining character trait... There's another character trait that we will talk about that I want to spend some time on later, but his defining character trait is that he's super horny for DJ.
Yep.
Yes.
His first line is, "Wow, she's like the hot mom in the tuna commercials," because Candace Cameron Bure was in Starkist commercials.
He's very forward.
Yeah, I feel like that's the nicest way of
His
putting
main
it.
strategy for flirting is walking up to her and saying, "I want to fuck you." That's it. There's
Pretty much.
no subtlety.
It's like the classic Beatles song, "I wanna fuck your mom." I wanna fuck your mom. That was Musical Bits.
And then there's also the third friend who's just kind of there.
Yeah.
What was his name though? He had the best name
know.
of them.
Oh wait, his name was like Nugs or something like that.
Oh,
think it
Nugs.
was
It was
Nugs.
Nugs. Yeah.
Nugs.
It's a shame they didn't give the name Nugs to a more interesting character.
Yeah.
Why wasn't Mankowski called Nugs?
I can't remember any of his character traits.
Yeah, like Mankowski could have been called Nugs and he was like, "Oh, that's our little Nugs trying to fuck DJ."
There he goes. There he goes, trying to fuck DJ.
There he goes, our little Nugs.
Oh, look at him
trying
go.
to fuck that MILF again.
God.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I've said oh no too many times. Is this episode bad? Do I not like this episode?
No. This episode and Fuller House in general is a modern masterpiece. Please help me. I feel like we're reaching the point in the podcast where this just kind of becomes a cry for help.
Oh no.
If you go back into previous episodes, it's coded in there. Like the fifth letter of the fifth word of every podcast reads, "Please help us. We are so sad. Someone is making us do this, but we can't say it." That was a joke. There isn't actually anyone making us do this, right, guys?
Right. Juan Pablo Di Pace totally isn't sitting in the corner of my room pointing a gun at me.
Ooh. We're getting some lore.
Yes, we would. If we were to be held hostage right now, we wouldn't be blinking 3 times. It's an audio format, so you can't even tell.
Oh no, our plan was foiled.
That was one of those famous bits that is completely visual, and we realize after doing it that this is an audio format.
In my mind, I was like, building up that, I was thinking, oh, I want to do like a thing where it's like blink 3 times if you're in danger, and I was like, wait, no, that's stupid. They can't see me when I'm recording the podcast.
As you were doing it, I thought, should I tell him?
No, I knew completely, and I was like, I was trying to like build it. This is the part of the podcast where I explain the joke I just did.
So, Tyler has told us stick to the script and then sent the gun emoji to me. So I think we should honor the words of Juan Pablo Di Pace and just continue. Please come on our podcast.
I was gonna
Guys,
say,
I think Tyler's the one holding us hostage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was all a joke. Juan Pablo Di Pace isn't holding a gun to our heads and telling us to stick to the script. That's what Tyler's doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all of my notes here are about his bad friends. Nothing much happens in that scene other than meeting them. And also Rocky's there. I don't know why. She doesn't seem part of this friend group.
I think it's a study group or something.
It is.
That explains Bad Abed.
Yeah, she's the only one studying, and most of the time she's sitting away from them doing something else. Like, she's standing at the kitchen counter, like, I guess making a sandwich. Studying.
But next we get to maybe my favorite plot of the episode, which is the doorbell rings, DJ answers it, bright white light comes flooding in, genuinely. It's lit in a very specific way where there's a lot of light on DJ. And who is emanating this light but our favorite boy, Fernando.
Fernando is
also
back.
I know this didn't happen, but I'd also like to imagine, like, as the door opens and the light comes in, there's also an angelic choir playing in the background as Fernando is revealed to be the person behind the door.
It just didn't make it into the final mix.
Yeah.
They
thought it would be a little bit too obvious and not, like, they wanted to make it very subtle.
Of course.
The Jesus imagery.
And Fernando, of course, introduces himself as the new neighbor and says, "I used to live in this house. Would you mind if I stepped in and took a look around?" And does DJ even let him in, or does he just go in as she's saying, "You moved out 3 days ago, Fernando"?
Oh, he just goes in. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I think he just goes in.
There are no honoring DJ's wishes. Who gives a fuck about DJ's boundaries? No, he just barges in.
Yeah, Max walks in and says, and I quote, "Oh no, he's back."
Like, even the show is acknowledging this rivalry between Fernando and this small child.
We thought we were picking up on subtext, but it's text. I mean, everybody hates Fernando, but it seems like Max hates Fernando most of all.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then it just gets to the point where Fernando's, like, going through saying, like, "Oh, this is the couch I used to sit on and the stairs I used to go up." And DJ's like, "Hey, Fernando, I've got a good idea for you to remember. Remember the time when you moved out?" It's not what she said. It was more so like, "Remember the time when you sat on the front porch?" She gets him to leave and locks the door behind him, meaning it is not always open.
They lied to us. It's not always
False
open. That's the
advertising.
show's one catchphrase, and it's false. It's just, I can't believe they would do that to us. How rude.
I saw that reference. You got it, dude.
You got it? You got what I was doing?
You got it, dude.
Hey.
Guys, enough with the references. Enough with the catchphrases, all right? Cut it out.
Oh my Lanta, Zach.
Zach, don't be so harsh. Have mercy.
Oh, God. There are so many catchphrases. Does J Money have a catchphrase besides the nickname J Money?
J Money does not have a catchphrase.
He doesn't have a catchphrase, and he stopped saying J Money after season 1. That's more so our thing, I think.
He said it this season.
He said it this season.
Did he?
The
Did
first
he say it this season?
like the first episode, right?
Yeah, he said the ladies call me J Money.
Yeah, he introduced
Oh,
himself as J
yeah.
Money to Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Oh.
Which is perhaps the basis of their relationship
Yeah.
and the
Yes.
reason why it's so strong. Their roles are defined from the beginning. There is never any doubt as to who is who in that relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so they kick out Fernando, and then it, Mark, you have notes.
I do have notes. This is what I mean. We have described so much crazy shit in this episode, but nothing has happened.
Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah.
Mark, you know what's next.
Yeah.
If I say something, I'm going to
It's
skip ahead.
the makeup scene, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Steph is applying makeup to Ramona's neck to cover up the hickey.
Yeah.
Kimmy walks in sporting a bow on her chin tail. It's just, when we're not talking about it in the context of describing what it is, chin tail is just such a gross term.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds weird.
Yeah.
It sounds like the
Yeah.
rogue hairs on a beard after you shave.
Okay, I was imagining like a literal tail on a chin, and it was
Yeah,
freaking
that's what I was
me
thinking
out.
as well. No, Harrison, you're just weird.
Harrison, yeah, you're weird. Imagining something that's physically possible instead of something that's
Yeah, the fuck, man.
instead of something that's upsetting and gross. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, guys. I've learned the error of my ways. I'll return to imagining chin tails the proper way.
Good.
So anyway,
Good.
Good. That's what we like
we
to
have
hear.
makeup being applied on Ramona's neck.
Kimmy shows up. She's a little confused as to why Ramona would ditch her really cool new hairstyle that they both have. But Ramona explains that she can't spend time with Kimmy because she's going to play laser tag with Popko.
Mm-hmm.
And Kimmy is like, Ramona, laser tag is our thing. Which Ramona says, you say that about everything. Because Kimmy is
That's Kimmy's thing.
too controlling and maybe not controlling, but a little codependent.
Well, Kimmy's thing is that she says that everything is her and Ramona's thing.
I
Yeah.
know, that's what the show says. I'm saying Kimmy's real thing is codependency.
I mean, yeah, if you wanna like, if you wanna put it that way.
Yeah, but they have all the mom and daughter activities, like sword fighting while bungee jumping, and that's their thing. And
I thought that's the first thing you came up with.
everything is their thing. So
Example
yeah.
number one.
Like I know we just got on your ass for like you're too literal about things, but like there's a line.
Yeah, you overcorrected, Harrison.
How dare you?
Just like, okay.
How
They're
dare you give me contradictory advice?
saying I'm not being imaginative enough. Let's think of some activities. Number one, sword fighting while bungee jumping. Okay, we came out swinging. Number two, Scrabble.
Yeah, who plays Scrabble? Who the fuck does that?
Number three, macrame.
Number 4, tax fraud.
Yeah. Teaming up to do that tax fraud, mom and daughter.
And as I often say, tax fraud means it's time to move on.
So,
The next scene is the audience goes, "Aw," because a baby does a thing.
that's
Yes, a baby does a thing. In this case, it's like that little roller coaster toy.
Yeah, DJ
You know the
pushes.
one.
He's on a little cart, and there are some ups and downs, and DJ pushes him along.
right. I love that thing. I had that as a kid.
I did too. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, oh, everyone.
I
had one of
didn't
those.
have that thing, but I definitely remember walking by it in your house, Harrison.
Yeah, I had that for a long time.
Yeah, no, I know I definitely have that as well. And then in the background, we see a certain
Who should
someone.
pop
start peering over the fence.
Who is that peering over the fence? But little old Fernando.
Yeah. And what you argued is not a Home Improvement reference.
Tyler and I debated because I was about to make a Home Improvement joke. And then Tyler said, oh, they're doing a Home Improvement reference. And I said, it's not, in my mind, I don't think it's a Home Improvement reference for 2 reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One is he doesn't stay just eyes above the fence, which is the trademark from Home Improvement. You never see his chin or anything.
Yeah.
And 2, I feel like knowing this show, if it was a Home Improvement reference, one of the characters would say, oh, like Home Improvement. And then another character would say, I always preferred that other 90s family sitcom.
And then they all stare into the camera for 5 minutes.
Yes. Maybe that's what's wrong with this show. Maybe it's not a real show, but when they were staring into the camera, they just like absorbed our souls and hypnotized us.
Yeah.
And we think we've been watching a show all this time, but really we're just staring at a blank screen.
Oh, no.
That's my short horror story.
It's a plot by the Olsen twins.
The Olsen twins were the ones who were lucky enough to escape.
Yeah. Or they engineered it all. They created that one joke so that they could fabricate the existence of Fuller House. Yeah.
They feed off of our suffering.
And Fernando's just like, hey, neighbor, do you want to hang out?
One of my favorite thing of this exchange is he walks in, he opens a gate in the fence and walks in, and DJ says, when did you put a gate into the fence? And he says, when it was night and no one could stop me.
This calls for a restraining order. Let's be real. That's creepy.
And then he just runs into the house and starts hiding.
Yep. And it becomes a real, like, children's show-esque, where's Fernando?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of points in the episode from this point on where I think I said this, like, during when we were watching it, where I was like, it just turns into an episode of Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
Where, like, DJ will say, hey, guys, have you seen Fernando? And Fernando just appears right behind her. And it's just like, and there's silence, so the kids can scream, he's right behind you.
Guys, can you spot Fernando? Is he there? Is he there? Good. I never liked that. I watched Dora the Explorer when I was little, but I never liked that because I never responded.
Oh, me
So
neither.
it was always weird watching Dora just freeze and then eventually go, good.
Yeah.
That's right. You got it. Like that.
Is it the blue one? Good.
We need to go to the bridge. Can you find the bridge?
There's the bridge.
I see it.
The bridge is behind you, Dora.
Very good.
She listened to me. She listened. She finally listened.
I was waiting for a long pause, and then you guys just kept going. So I was like, I need to just find a new way to. I'm just gonna interrupt somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our spinoff for this episode, right? We're pitching.
Yes.
We're pitching Fernando the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer, where DJ is Dora, Tommy is Boots, and Fernando is Swiper.
Or maybe it's an original children's show called like Where's Fernando? Or Where's the Sexy Latin Man?
See, when you said Where's Fernando, I imagined just like a spinoff of Where's Waldo, but with Fernando.
But Fernando's really easy to find because he's really boisterous and makes a lot of noise.
Oh God.
It's just like there's a tape in the book and it's like you flip the page and it's like, oh, am I here? You're never gonna find me.
There's like a Where's Waldo thing, right? And it's just like a big little like park square or something like that. And in the very middle of the page, there's a spotlight on Fernando doing like a big pose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, where's Fernando? I wonder where he could be.
He's just your eye goes to him immediately.
Yes.
It just does.
But meanwhile, DJ's chasing Fernando upstairs to where J Money and his friends are hanging out studying.
There's one little scene that makes no real difference in anything that I do want to mention before we come back to J Money and his friends studying, because Kimmy is helping Steve sample wedding cakes. Steve is there trying wedding cakes.
Right.
Why isn't CJ there?
It's weird.
Why isn't CJ there? And also, Kimmy is trying to rush Steve through the process of making cake, which, as we all know, don't rush Steve when he's trying food.
Steve, I know CJ is OTP, but Steve and food is OTP, really.
Yeah.
Yes. But Kimmy really wants to rush through this so that she can go surprise Ramona at Laser Tag, because it's their thing.
It's just like, I feel like this is more than once we've had Steve making all the decisions in regard to his and CJ's wedding, and it's like, shouldn't CJ be a part of these decisions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, I don't know if this marriage is going to go off without a hitch.
Yeah. Steve is pulling all the weight.
Oh, what? Well, why don't you just wait and see, Mark?
That's what we call in the biz foreshadowing.
Ooh. That's a nice big fancy word.
The business is insurance.
But yeah, she eventually calls up Stephanie. She's like, Steph, I gotta go. You go finish trying cakes with Steve and get his fucking money.
Yeah.
Those aren't her literal words, but that is the subtext.
Yes.
Yes.
Steph, why don't you get his money?
Later on in the episode behind the scenes, Timmy comes back for Steve's money and he doesn't have it, so she breaks his legs. Yeah, like
That's
a mob
true.
boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now both Steve and Steph are gonna be on crutches for the rest of the season.
Ruh-roh.
Womp womp.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Like, Steph broke her leg in the show because Jodie Sweetin broke her leg in real life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if an actor broke their leg and so in the show they had like a mob boss break the character's legs?
Oh, Jesus.
And I mean like Fuller House.
Yeah.
I don't mean like a gritty mob show. I mean, what if
in
Candace
Fuller
Cameron
House.
Bure broke her legs and so just someone bashed her kneecaps
I
in?
just imagine you have like Matt walking down the street and then all of a sudden he gets jumped.
Yep.
This is a very special episode about mob violence and why you don't do business with loan sharks.
Yep.
Support your pet care business.
But yeah, then we go to DJ hanging out with J Money and his new friends. Actually, no, Max comes in first.
Yeah. Well, first they're studying, and J Money asks the very obscure question. Okay, who's Abe Lincoln?
Jesus Christ.
They're studying, so it's not like it's rhetorical on J Money's part. But Mankowski answers, isn't he the guy who invented that job website?
Yeah, because, you know, Abraham LinkedIn.
I was trying to remain completely still for two reasons. One, to make you think I had frozen on our video chat. But two, that joke drained so much energy out of me.
Yeah.
They're 14 years old. What have they been doing with their lives? Have they never seen a penny?
Have they never been outside?
No. And then, you know, Max comes in and he's like, hey, I think Nugs is sitting on the unicorn. That's like the one important thing he does all episode.
Yep.
He's like, hey, you're sitting on my unicorn. Get off my fucking unicorn.
Get off my fucking unicorn. Fuck.
And then he like throws
Again,
plates
not
against
his
the wall.
actual words, but the subject. Yeah, he throws plates against the wall. He bashes Nug's kneecaps in. Fun fact, the actor had actually broken his legs. And so they had Max bash
Hey,
his
guys,
knees.
this begs the question. If you could add one F-bomb into Fuller House, where would it be? Mine would have been right there.
The door's always fucking open.
Hey Jackson, I want to fuck your mom.
But Max takes his unicorn, and then he sees they're getting too cuddly with his dog, so he takes Cosmo. And then they reveal their fantastic joke that they renamed Cosmo Derek. Cosmo is the Derek we were talking about.
Yeah, Cosmo is the one true Derek.
Yeah.
Cosmo is the one true Derek.
They reprogrammed this poor dog's brain to think its name was Derek. That's really weird.
And like, what a weird thing to do. But it gets weirder. It does get weirder.
Yeah.
Because they explain Mankowski can talk to dogs, and he goes, but not cats. And then someone's like, Max sarcastically says something, and Mankowski's still like, no, it's a real issue. I have 2 cats at home, and I never know what they're thinking. Just what the fuck?
Yeah, no, this fucking kid.
It's so weird.
By the way, multiple things. We know like magic and stuff exists in the Full House universe because of the episode where Santa Claus is real, and the other episode where a cartoon comes to life and talks to Joey.
Oh, God.
But also, Mankowski has the mutant ability to talk to dogs. Also, what this means, if Mankowski can talk to dogs, and Cosmo told him that his real name is Derek, and they named him Derek, and now Cosmo won't respond to Cosmo, but will respond to Derek, that means that Cosmo's real name is Derek. It's not like a reprogramming thing. Cosmo's real name is Derek.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Mark. If Mankowski can talk to dogs, and Cosmo's real name is Derek, then who's driving the bus?
I know we've done that joke to each other a couple of times. I don't know if we've done it at the podcast, so I wanted to
It's my favorite bit.
I love it so much.
It's such a good bit.
If you're here and I'm here, then who's driving
the bus?
Cut to a bunch of children going,
That's I don't know, they're just like screaming, but also not. They're like,
exactly. Well,
this is so scary.
Well, it's that shot from Wet Hot American Summer when they're like, the kids are trapped on the rapids, and it's like a static shot, but the kids are going, and it lasts a second. But anyway, DJ comes in. She's happy J Money has friends, but becomes a little concerned when we find our next big revelation, which is maybe as surprising as the fact that Mankowski can talk to dogs, which is that of his friend group, J Money is the smart one.
Yeah, that was a revelation. Like, I think
J Money had a big dub today.
Why don't you stay away from our guy? We call him the professor, and then they did like this thing where they just keep saying that their nickname for J Money is the professor, and then Mark went, I believe, and I quote, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Mark, oh God, J Money is the smart one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that those were my words.
That's just, oh no.
It's
J Money needs to surround himself with better people.
J Money, you deserve better. We know it's nice being the smart one, but also if you're the smart one, you might want to get out of that group.
I also do want to say they name themselves the Six Pack, despite the fact that there are only 4 of them.
There are 4 of them, but they name themselves the Six Pack so they can do a weird handshake where they pretend to drink. I think the captions specify soda, but
come on, really?
Come on.
Yeah.
Soda? Yeah.
Like, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, J Money is the smart one. And then the scene we didn't mention when DJ comes in, she says, like, I'm looking for Fernando. Has anybody seen him? And then Fernando runs behind her, stops short for a second, and runs off.
Yes, that's again like the Dora the Explorer bit.
It's the best thing in this episode.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And nobody sees him. They just watch him, and outside the door they just runs.
And the scene ends very creepily with Mankowski telling DJ, I'll be 18 in 4 years. Wait for me.
Yeah, like, it gets to the part, DJ offers, she says, hey, why don't you guys order a pizza? It's on me. And they all leave. And Mankowski's the last one to go. And as a joke, I was like, hey, by the way, I'm single. And then what he said was worse than what I suggested.
So much worse.
So much worse.
But But when it's true love, it's true love.
And DJ and Max are commiserating about how terrible J Money's friends are. And DJ says, well, what are the odds they'll be his friends for life? And Rocky just walks up and says, 2 words, Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah.
which implies that in about 20 years, we're going to get a reboot where J Money has to raise 3 girls with the help of Mankowski.
Oh, you're right. Oh, Jesus.
It's going to be J Money, Mankowski, and Max.
Yeah, I was gonna say Max is the third one.
DJ will divorce Steve midway through the show and then hook up with Mankowski. He'll finally get what he always wanted.
It's like a whole thing where J Money's just like, Mankowski, why are you hooking up with my mom? I don't know why I gave him Jerry Seinfeld's voice, but it sounded appropriate at that point to give J Money a Jerry Seinfeld voice. I know it wasn't a very good Jerry Seinfeld voice.
No, Zach, that was a spot on J Money impression.
Oh.
What's the deal with
Mankowski fucking my mom? Ah!
Hey guys, it's me, Jerry Seinfeld.
Anyway, we then cut over to the laser tag arena rink place.
So.
Yeah, sure. It's a laser tag.
Stadium, laser tagatorium.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where Kimmy's just straight up murdering kids.
Yeah.
And she cheated. She's not wearing her vest.
She's cheating.
She's doing flippy shit.
Yeah, a kid says, you're not wearing a vest. And she says, yes, no one can kill me. Kimmy, you are cheating at laser tag. These are children, just give them this.
Have you no shame, Kimmy?
I mean, basically, I think the way that this scene goes, that Kimmy enters the laser tag arena John Wick style, like, where the fuck is my daughter? Just starts killing everybody who isn't Ramona until she finds Ramona.
She does get to Ramona, but wouldn't you know it, the UV lights or the black lights from the laser tag place, well, first they light up all these dots on Popgo's face, which are his zit cream. And then we see they light up the patch of makeup that Ramona is using to cover up her hickey.
Oh no! That was my concern, oh no.
Kimmy... Oh,
as opposed
no.
As opposed to the scared, oh no. Yeah.
Can I hear excited?
Oh no!
Fantastic.
Yeah. Can you find Fernando in the background here?
But Kimmy gently rubs the makeup off. We all noted how easily it comes off.
Yeah, it was like, that was a bad job, Stephanie. Yeah.
And then I think I've already described a couple of moments as the best moment in the episode, but then it comes maybe my favorite line in the episode, which is Kimmy says like, a hickey, and Popgo goes, Who gave you that? Who gave you a hickey, Ramona?
I will go beat him up as your boyfriend.
And then he shoots himself in the chest with the laser tag gun just to get out of the awkward conversation.
Yeah. Who gave you that hickey? You did. Oh. Just shoots himself with his laser tag gun.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's been a nice life.
I'm out. Guess I gotta go.
But Kimmy, yeah, the man on the PA, Kimmy's upset that Ramona was hiding the hickey from her. And the man on the PA system says, come on, lady, it's just a hickey. I wish I had a hickey. PA man is lonely.
The announcer dude is just down bad right now.
Yep. But also from his tone of voice, like, announcer dude can get it.
From the tone of voice and nothing else.
He can get it.
I don't know how to respond to that. That's why I'm not saying anything.
We don't know anything about announcer dude, but the Virgin Popco versus the Chad announcer dude.
The Virgin J Money versus the Chad Popco. But Kimmy, Ramona's worst fear comes to life. We didn't mention this in the first scene, but Ramona is afraid that if Kimmy finds out that she's growing up and getting hickeys and everything, she'll sing the puberty song. What is it?
I I'd rather us not repeat it.
Well, it's
Body is a changing.
Awkward. Your parts are rearranging.
And your armpits now have hair.
There we go. Musical
I
bits.
hate that.
And then she adds the line later, but I forget what it is.
She sings it.
Kimmy sings
Ramona,
it. Yeah.
in front of everyone.
Yep, it's bad.
I hate
It's
it. I hate it
bad.
so much.
But it does happen, and there's no way to change that. And they move on.
They move on. I kind of just wanted to jump immediately to my other note, to my next note, which is they find Fernando under the bed.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. They find Fernando under the bed.
DJ and Tommy are looking in the attic. They find Fernando under the bed.
Well, okay, no, I do want to point out how they find him, which is DJ and Tommy go up and they're like, we've looked everywhere else. You have to be in here. And Tommy like kicks a ball under the bed, and then the ball comes right back out.
Yep.
And then DJ pulls up the blanket or whatever, and Fernando's like, you found me. Now it's your turn to hide.
But Fernando then admits that this whimsical game is actually masking that he's very lonely. He's been separated from his wife and his daughter and his friends, by whom I assume he means the children. The other children.
He hangs out exclusively with children.
DJ sighs and tells him that he can come over whenever he wants, as long as it's between the hours of 6 to 9, which are when she's working. Maybe it's 9 to 6, sorry.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then he keeps trying to negotiate, like, I know things were rough the first month, but then you really grew to love me. And she's going, no. The amount of times people say to Fernando's face, we hate you. And he's just like, yeah, but
It's
not
like,
really.
What did this man do?
Fernando did nothing wrong.
Fernando is nothing but a joy. Hashtag Fernando is innocent.
He is guilty of cheating in the first season.
That's true.
But he's overcome that.
Yes. He
He's
was a
proven
serial
himself.
adulterer who overwent a redemption arc and is now working to better himself.
Hashtag Fernando did some things wrong.
Oh, man.
Hashtag second chances. Hashtag divorce dad energy.
But anyway, with this win under his belt, Fernando finally goes home.
Yeah. Is that how it ends? Or is there one more scene?
Well, yeah, there's Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Kimmy.
Kimmy comes home and is angry with Steph because Ramona told Stephanie and not her. And Stephanie says to her, apologizes, tells her that she thought Ramona should tell her, and says, you know, just Ramona is growing up and she can't tell you everything. And it's hard, but you got to deal with that. And Kimmy goes like, you're right. And that's kind of, that resolves.
Yeah.
Yep. And then she repeats pretty much the same conversation with Ramona.
Yep. But she does this suggestive shoulder wiggle because she says, did you and Pop go? And she wiggles her shoulders suggestively. And Ramona says, which
is very creepy.
And Ramona says, we just kissed. And Kimmy says, oh, no biggie. Actually, thank God.
I was really hoping instead of like afterwards, like, so you and Pop go, you know, and then Ramona's like, no, we just kissed. And then Kimmy just responds with, nerd.
Yeah, you didn't play Parcheesi.
My daughter
with your
couldn't even get
boyfriend?
to third base.
God, my daughter hasn't gotten to third base yet. What a fucking nerd, am I right?
And then the episode ends. It just kind of peters out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does. But as the episode ends, a new segment begins. Not a new segment, a fan favorite segment. It's Sad Boy of the Week. It's Sad Boy of the Week time.
Yay!
Yay! Who are our nominees?
I have one big nominee in mind.
I think I know who you're talking about, but yeah.
Fernando.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty much an open and shut case.
Probably.
Yeah, it's pretty open and shut.
I do have one nominee for shits and giggles.
I mean, I think like J Money spending time with his bad friends is a little.
I mean, I have a couple people who I think are worth at least maybe a nomination, but I don't think they take it away from Fernando.
Yeah.
Thinking possibly Ramona.
Possibly Ramona, yeah.
And
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw in Mankowski for his play that will never, like the mighty Icarus. He flew too close to the sun.
Mankowski, and can I have one more? Can I do one more?
He's the dude who rolls the boulder up the hill.
Sisyphus.
I forget his name.
Sisyphus.
Yes, Mankowski is like Sisyphus. He rolls the boulder up the hill, but he will never make it.
Imagine if you said, "Oh, who's the guy who rolls the boulder up the hill?" And we were like, Michael Jordan.
Yes, like Michael Jordan. In the
Yes,
classic
it's
fable.
exactly like Michael Jordan.
I think Bobby Popko, Robert Popko might be kind of sad this week. Do you want me to run through all of their cases, or are we pretty certain that it's going to be Fernando?
I mean, I think it's worth at least going over the cases.
Let's go through it. Maybe it'll change our minds.
Okay, I was just,
We have had our minds changed by your description.
based on time. Usually, and I don't mean to exert such influence, but usually I think when my descriptions are particularly convincing, it's because they're the person that I'm already leaning towards.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me do it. Let me do it.
Okay.
Do you want me? I'll start with Mankowski. Mankowski, from the moment we meet him, is super horny for DJ. His
Super horny.
first line is, "Man, she's like a hot mom in a tuna commercial," which is very weird and specific.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's oddly specific.
What are you talking about? That's a completely normal human thing to say.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm the weird one then.
He spends more time fixating on his friend's mom. And then the other wild curveball we are thrown about Mankowski, that he can talk to dogs, but not cats. And he actually owns cats and not dogs, so he lives a sad, terrifying existence.
I do think there's one other thing
My
to
God.
mention,
Yeah.
is that in his friend group, he enthusiastically declares J Money to
That's
be his
true.
leader as the smart
That's
one.
very sad that he is
Yeah.
enthusiastically less smart than J Money.
Yes.
Yeah, he's reaching for a D- with J Money's help.
All right. Yeah. There's Babo Papo.
Babo Papo.
I wanted to say it in a new way. There's Robert Popko.
I love it. I love Babo Papo.
There's Babo Papo.
Papo.
It's when my mouth just becomes mush. Who reveals his kink for beards. Kind of comes on to his girlfriend's mom. When he's playing laser tag, he unfortunately has his zit cream shown to everybody. Just outed. He has that stellar recovery of, who gave you this, Hickey Ramona? Gosh, we should find this person. We're all trying to find the guy that did this. And then he shoots himself to get out of an awkward conversation.
It is quite a day for him.
Yeah.
It's quite a day.
There's Ramona, who realizes all too late that she's gotten a hickey from her weird boyfriend. She ties her hair up to cover it up in front of her mom, which miraculously works, though it immediately fails when Stephanie enters the room. Her clingy mom shows up to her laser tag date and ruins laser tag not just for her, but for everybody. Her mom sees her hickey and sings the puberty song in front of everyone. And then presumably they go home like still angry at each other because then it's after that they make up. And she has to sit through her mom going, "Did you and Pop go, huh? Did you, I'm just doing Tim Allen grunts.
Also, she failed to get to third base. Like Timmy totally said.
That's true. Yeah, and she's also a fucking nerd who can't get to third base. And then finally
our good
sweet boy Fernando. Fernando is so crushed by moving to that one house over that he shows up, pretends that he's a new neighbor, forces himself in and is immediately kicked out. Then he pops up over the fence, reveals he has built a door through the fence, runs in, and spends the rest of his day hiding from DJ. And he just runs around the house hiding from DJ gleefully, like some kind of character out of a children's cartoon. And eventually he is found and kicked out, though he gets what he wants in that he's allowed to hang out in the house sometimes, but only in specific windows because DJ doesn't want to see him that much. And then also DJ won't admit that she ever liked living with him ever. He eventually concedes to, but in the 9th month of our 10-month cohabitation, you started warming up to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he has to go back to live with Jimmy Gibbler.
All right. Well, I think this case is pretty open and shut. I think we're all voting Fernando.
Fernando.
Right?
Yeah, it's Fernando.
Yeah.
100%
right.
Fernando.
So I don't know if Tyler updated the Sad Boy of the Week leaderboard while we were talking because he knew it was very obvious, but I'm pretty sure this puts Fernando in a 3-way tie for second place on the Sad Boy leaderboard
Oh,
chart.
that's neat.
With Steve and Stephanie. So congrats, Fernando. You're now tied for second.
Steph is still catching up. She's still
Steph
on the
is
board.
in there.
I feel like Steph had a very strong start, but
Yeah.
has been falling apart recently. Which I didn't even mean for that to be a pun. I didn't even mean for falling apart to be like that, but yeah.
By the way, it's still anyone's game.
Yes. First place
Yeah,
has
that's true.
6. These 3 all have 4 wins.
Yeah.
So we still have a lot of show to get through.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for the underdog, Macy Gray. My girl, Macy Gray. She's gonna come back. She's gonna come back in the 5th season in the episodes we didn't see and gonna take it by storm.
It's hilarious to me that Macy Gray is on our Sad Boy of the Week leaderboard.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
All right. Well, on that note, I think that's gonna do it for another episode of the Fullest House podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Fullest House Pod. Once again, I'm Derek.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Derek.
And until next time, may your Dereks be Derek, and may your Dereks be Derek.
I think Zach just had a stroke.
Derek!
Let's get him to the hospital.